to everyone that's watching. So this is Cindy. Let me introduce Cindy.
Oh, hi.
Cindy, thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you coming here and sharing your story. Um, what I want to start with is tell people about where you were at before you found me. What were you
Okay.
going through, and what was life like before you found me?
Miserable, but so basically I didn't have insurance for a few years and I knew something was wrong with my body and I didn't realize. And so it was last October they finally diagnosed me with hypothyroidism, and I really didn't have a clue, really to what to do with that or if I could do anything with it. And I just felt like I was so under control of that autoimmune disease because you have to get your levels checked, take the pill, and I just didn't like the process. With no insurance, I really couldn't continue to do the process. So I Googled stuff and I found your site. And you're really kind, and just that you've gone through it. So I'm like, then I know someone who's experienced it, and I was willing to try to learn from you and just go with. And it's been amazing. Um, I've learned things that I never would have thought of before. I never thought of really targeting the stomach, or how simple drinking a lot of water is. That's a really big deal. Because I know the first week it was just like increased water, and I thought, well, okay, I'll try that. It's
Super
simple
simple,
enough,
yes.
but what a difference. And now I drink, about a gallon, if not a little bit more a day, just because it's just my habit. And I always drink water, but not that much. And then plus a lot of coffee, which I still drink some coffee, but I have a balance in there.
Okay. You said you felt out of control. So what do you mean by that?
I'm a very active person, and I have been for years. And actually, a few years, I used to run 2 to 3 times a week some years ago. And then, I guess that's when maybe stuff got off with my body and the hypothyroidism set in. But then, it wasn't as much, but like not this winter, but last winter, all I wanted to do was sleep, and I didn't care. And even a best friend of mine was like, Cindy, that's not you. And I'm like, I know, but maybe that's how it is. Um, but I just felt like that was controlling me because I was still exercising a couple times a week, going to the gym, and it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. Also, I wasn't informed exactly what types of foods to eat and actually what's in all the stuff that you do eat. And you've opened my eyes to that, so that's been good. I know it's been a 2-month journey, and I know I have a lot to learn, but it's been amazing, and I've learned so much.
So let's talk about what your experience has been so far, going through the process and learning and understanding food. Like, how has your idea changed, surrounding food?
I don't know. I guess through all your trainings, it's opened my eyes to actually when they do make food and they do process, like what's in it, and how if they're not making it in a healthy way, it's not healthy for our bodies. So it's not going to be productive or helpful. And I definitely can tell a difference in just the better foods that I eat. Like I feel so much better. Like I said, I've lost 13 pounds in just about 2 months, which has been a struggle, and I didn't think that was ever going to come off, but it just, and I have a goal to maybe like 15, 20 pounds more, but it's a process.
Yeah.
And just to continue on that path. But I'm sure maybe you remember the one day where I had like 3, 4 bags of stuff in a box of food that I took out of my kitchen and donated to my parents, just to kind of a clean slate to try to keep, the better stuff in here. So
Yeah. How would you describe like yourself now compared to before, as far as like food? Like, how has your idea on food changed?
I just like a lot of times I'll drive by Burger King and it smells amazing, but then I think of what's in that, and like, and how that's not even it's gonna be a lot of empty, non-healthy stuff that I'll be eating. And actually, I enjoy the foods that I get. Um, but, and so, I've had a few cheat days. Like I told you, I had been up in Alaska visiting family. And so it's kind of hard to stay with the routine. I could tell the difference in my body when I'd eat something different, just how it processed, if that makes sense, like how it felt inside my body felt
Yeah.
different. So, I mean, I can tell a different, my body's like, okay, this is good. This is what we're doing now. And I can tell a big difference in it.
What made you like, why did you decide to like actually follow the program and get involved?
I was feeling pretty hopeless. I honestly felt defeated, like hypothyroidism was just my new way of life and it was going to remain that way. And I really enjoyed that because you were diagnosed with the same thing. You've been at it for about 8 years. You found what works and it works. So you're like a live person that's actually, has gone through it and has gotten better and it does work. Because like I said, I never thought that I could. I tried so hard and it might even creep up a little bit softly, but it wasn't coming off. And then I know I posted some pictures in the beginning. I'd wake up and look like I was 6 months pregnant right off the bat. And it was frustrating because I was like, why is my body doing that? And it's not that I ate a whole lot, but just there was so much unhealthy stuff going on in my stomach. And it's not like that now. It feels much better. I mean, I still got lots more to go, but big, big change.
You may be able to share some of like, some of the things that maybe you saw at first that you were like, well, I thought that was the opposite, but I'll try it. So I don't know. What
Yeah,
was your
well,
experience with
even
that?
the salt. I mean, even the salt and because the doctors always say for cholesterol and whatever reasons don't intake a lot of salt, but then and then you have the experience with the beer brewing, and I know that you're not a doctor, but you have experienced it yourself, so you have you know experience to share with everybody else. But so the salt is one thing, that how things need to be fermented, and I'm still getting there because I ordered that book, but one day I want to actually make the breads and whatever. I just haven't got to that part yet because I'm still pretty new at it, but slowly but surely I'm kind of adding different things in, but for the most part it's the meats and the veggies, not really any fruits. I haven't really had any of the fruits. Eggs, I love eggs. Breakfast is a big thing for me. And then one of my kind of cheat things is like tomato sauce because I love it. It goes great on veggie burgers or it goes good on sauerkraut. It's just tasty. Even my digestion and everything, so much better. I mean, it was a process. It took a little bit, but so much better. And I feel better. You know, my skin, I can tell there's still some hair that comes out, but not nearly like a lot of my hair would come out. I know my shins, it was almost like a scaly dry, and my skin's never ever been dried like that. But it's much better. I mean, I can just tell the difference, but because we talked and like you said one day, it's the hydration, just keeping the water in the body and good,
So what about sleep? Have you noticed any differences
Oh,
in your
much
sleep?
better. Much better. And it's, a lot of times I have to lay there and wait till the sleep would hit me and then I just kind of sleep for a little bit, but then I might be up in a few hours, toss and turn, not really sleep good. Now it's kind of the same. I'll lay down and then it hits me and then I'm like out. And sometimes I'm all the way until the morning, but the sleep has definitely improved. And I've noticed, so that's good all around, just so because I'm really busy all the time, so it helps me, keep energy and keep going throughout the day. So that's been really helpful too, which
And
makes a big difference, especially if there's a lot of running around or you need your mental kind of capacity to just keep going throughout the day and, be alert and whatnot. And brain fog, it's not as bad. Every now and then I still have it. I call it sometimers, but it's not as bad as it was, I suppose. It's good
yes.
improvement there too. So all around, it's just been. I mean, it's good. I understand it's new, and like you've been at it for 8 years, and so I've got a while on my journey, and there's always room for improvement. But it's just those baby steps every day to continue in the process to keep it going.
Do you feel like you're in more control of your health and you're, looking forward towards making more progress?
Yes, and I gotta say, because I was busy and on the run all the time, it was easy to eat out all the
Yes.
time. 'Cause it was easy. And now I've got to put more work into it because I know at some point in time I'm going to get hungry. So I've got to make sure that I prepare the food. So when I'm ready to eat, I can feed my body and, feel satisfied. Where before it was running around and it was out to the restaurant quick, and it might be once or twice a day, McDonald's, you can always go through the drive through and it's fast. Pop, I, not all the time, but I drank pops. I really, every now and then, I think I had one, when I was up in Alaska with my daughter,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I cheated. I had McDonald's, but I thought, because she just looked at me and she's like, "Mom, you want McDonald's?" I'm like, "Okay, we might as well." But it's just all that stuff. I'm not eating out. Like I said, I drive by and it smells so good,
Yeah.
but then you figure out how to make it at home and have the good stuff and just do it differently. And it's hard to do it 100% of the time, so the most part, but every now and then. A lot of times if I'm on the go and I don't bring something, one of my defaults is like beef and cheese sticks, just because then I'm like, well, it's keto. It's kind of, my brain tries to go there, and but just, it's just practicing every day and figuring out what works and how to just improve. And it's not going to be done overnight or whatever. It just takes time.
Part of that is the lack or the inability of the body to digest protein, which is really the main reason why it's one of the main reasons why you start to lose your hair. And so now that you're digesting food better, that's one of the things that it's obviously, as you say, like you're noticing the difference in your hair growth.
Yes. Or just not as much. I mean, every now and then some might come out, but not like it had been. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was a hand, enough to fit in a hand, not like a huge handful, but plenty,
Yeah.
so definitely improvement there. And well, just even my skin. I remember there was times where my feet and my hands would itch, and there was nothing I could really do. There was nothing I could put on there that would make them feel better,
Yeah. Yeah. And,
or
and,
my
and
lips
that's
swell.
what are you looking forward to the most moving forward with all the new knowledge that you have now?
You know, My primary reason was, of course, the hypothyroidism, which, of course, is an autoimmune that, really primary comes from the gut. And it's just like our body's system. And it's just to, make it function and work properly. Cause I don't want to have that like, oh my God, I need to get my levels checked. I got to have my pills changed again. No insurance. So how am I going to pay for this? Or how am I don't want that, or to take a pill and not knowing if it's because I went super high and then I went super low. I mean, I was just kind of yo-yoing, and I felt like I had a bit of control. I mean, I do, because now I control what goes in. I understand it better and I feel so much better. Um, I don't feel like I need to have my levels checked. I feel like I'm okay. Like I said, I can see the difference in my skin, my hair, my digestion, just my overall how I feel, and it's been much better. I'm very grateful for you because you're very humble, and that you go out there to help so many people because of your experience firsthand. Um, Not a whole lot of people will do that, and so I'm very grateful for that. But you understand. I mean, I have had a lot of people ask, and I have said, "Hey, this is the guy. He's awesome." Just, and I'll even refer your sites or whatnot. And and it's kind of educating other people too. So the more people know, the better.
So what would you recommend people do? People are brand new to the group. What would you recommend people do?
You know, Baby steps, but you have a wonderful program that you worked, and like we both understood, you're not a doctor, but you're a very humble man who's experienced it, and you're trying to reach out because you understand. You've gone through it yourself. You know it works because you've done it, which was why I was so confident in following you. But you've got all the in your unit, all the different programs where you explain everything. Water's a big, big deal. Because I know the first week you're like, don't change anything too much, just drink a lot of water. I was like, I can do that. And so I did. And then adding the magnesium. And I tell you what, I did run out for a little bit, but I picked up some more. I
Yeah.
could tell the difference in just not drinking that for almost a week. I could tell the difference. So I've
Yeah.
got it back. I've got my salt back in there, and it tastes yummy. I mean, I like the taste.
Yeah.
So but I can tell the difference. And then the foods is a big deal. I know at first I had to like go right to the basics. Like I would take the like the sausage or the beef, it slash veggie patties, and the sauerkraut with probiotics, and then veggies. So I'd like mushrooms, but I love eggs. I love breakfast. That was my big thing. So
Yes.
I could cut up the sausage, fry up my eggs, have sauerkraut and my tomato sauce. And it was a really good meal, tasted good. I felt good. I felt full. But it's just those little changes, that make such a big difference. But yeah, baby steps, and just don't give up. Just keep going, you know?
It was so hard at first because I'm like, man, am I really going to be able to get people to drink more water? Like, that sounds so simple. A lot of people may not even believe that just drinking more water is going to do it.
Big deal. It made a big change. It really did.
It's one of the things that I hope people understand. Is like, initially, yeah, you're going to be buying like a lot of these nutrients, but as you go through the program, like my whole goal, like the whole idea why I started this was because I didn't want to rely on supplements. I wanted to get
Right.
everything food.
Yep. And I haven't been. I mean, other than the ones that you've recommended, but I can feel the difference in my body. I haven't, because I had a whole container full of stuff that I was taking, and all that time it wasn't doing me any good, So big difference. And yeah, just eating the different foods that are better. And it just opened my eyes to like a whole nother world, like the whatever the shades dropped off. Like you said, when you go in the gas station, it's like I can have coffee.
Yep.
The coffee's good. It's an excellent program. I can say that I'm glad that I came across it, because I don't know if I would have had any changes or anything different happen. I probably would have been stressed about getting tested yet and adjusting my pills. It's simplified things, like, and it hasn't been hard. It's just, maintaining the body, the water, the food, the minerals and whatnot, and just one day at a time. And
Yeah.
so to me, I feel like I'm holding the steering wheel and I'm controlling what's going on.
Um, cool. So England says it's what I've noticed in myself. Have a lot of hair loss, dry skin, can't sleep. Yvette definitely inspired. Awesome, Yvette. Good to see you here, Yvette. Sandra. Sandra, since I've been on your program, I've lost 15 pounds and 10 more to go. Awesome, Sandra. That's good to hear.
Good.
That is so good to hear. Gosh. So, England, very first time listening to this. Karen, thank you for all your help. So Cindy, again, I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this call and sharing your story. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be inspired by your story. And I believe that this is going to come back to you. I believe in good karma. This is good karma for you. So I look forward to following the rest of your journey. I mean, 2 months, Sid, come on, you're just getting started. I want to
I know, that's
know.
what I think. I'm like, Jorge's been at this for 8 years. I'm doing good, and I've got lots more progress to go. So
It's a
yeah, well, I just appreciate everything that you like humbly offer to everybody else, because it has been really helpful. So I appreciate it too.
Thank you. There's a good saying that says people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 5 years.
Mhm.
So I definitely want to check back in a year from today, and definitely 5 years from today when you're a ferment expert in doing all of your gardening and cooking and stuff like that.
Right? Well, you do that.
All right.
I'll have, yeah, because I have more weight to lose, so I'm on a mission.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. You have a great attitude. I think that you have the perfect drive for this, and I believe wholeheartedly that you're going to achieve your goals. So definitely stay in touch, and thank you again so much. Thank you everyone else, for watching and tuning in.